So we're starting off vlog number 1 with a good old-fashioned story about making moves. Now this whole Scottsdale trip came about because I forced it into existence completely. Now the reason I went was for Jeremy Scott. He owns a gym out there, and this guy is like a fitness, I guess he's just I almost called him a fitness influencer, but he's a lot more than that. He's been in the industry for a long time. He's at the top of the industry, well respected, from fitness modeling to running his own gym to having endorsement deals and online business. He really has like a full package of what you can do as far as expanding your gym business, I guess. So the real goal was to kind of connect with him and just learn from him and try and get on his level. Like, I genuinely don't want anything from this guy, but to be in his energy and to try and figure out how I'm gonna bring myself up to that point. This whole thing came about in the beginning by talking to a client who's going to Scottsdale. Now I've been following Jeremy for a while, and I thought, oh shoot, Jeremy Scott's in Scottsdale. You're gonna be gone for a week. You need to work out. You need to go to this guy's gym. And I was like, all right, where are you staying? We looked it up. He was a mile away from the gym. I'm like, it's meant to be. You got to get your ass there. So I emailed his team, tried to get him into class. It didn't really work out time-wise, so long story short, my client Dave ended up just dropping in, and randomly, the only person in there was Jeremy, and they hit it off, talked for like 45 minutes. My client was talking me up like crazy, just saying Dialed Health this, Derek that, yada yada, and basically Jeremy gave him a few shirts, was super gracious with his time, sent Dave on his way. After that, I got the photos that they took together, posted them on Instagram, tagged Jeremy, and he's really good about getting back to his DMs. So I just said, hey, thanks, yada yada, I appreciate you taking time with my client. And he said, yeah, if you ever need anything, let me know. So honestly, I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, well, if I'm ever in Scottsdale, could I come by and train at your gym? And he's like, yeah, let me know when you're in the hood. So like, that was verbatim. So I was like, all right. I sat on it for like a week, and then a week later, I just DM'd him and said, yo, I'm gonna be in Scottsdale on this date. I just picked a random date, totally had no trip planned, and I was like, can I drop into a class? And so he's like, well, that class doesn't work, but the next day I do this advanced boot camp, like just drop in. And I was like, cool. Booked my flight, set up all the accommodations, and literally with just that one little cue of like, yeah, you can show up, I booked a flight to go out. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not like a casual, I don't know, I don't have a lot of extra funds to go just do a trip like this. It's just over a weekend, but it's just that my business is expanding to a point where I just put money into a website, even like doing merch and like cards, and these stuff like add up to where 500,000, 2,000, so just throwing an extra, $700 for this weekend trip. I guess I'm just bringing this up because there's always a reason not to do something. That would have been an easy out. And I just had a 2-month-old baby. Like, there's all this stuff, but at the end of the day, it was an opportunity to get in front of this guy in a way that was relevant and not too weird. So basically booked the flight, showed up, DM'd him on the way, tagged him at the airport and said, I'm coming, just to like reaffirm like, hey, this is really happening. And then basically just made it happen. So did the trip, worked out with him, sat down, talked with him for an hour, and it wasn't a talk like, oh, I really think I want to be a trainer. It was like, hey, I'm already doing this, and what do the next 10 years look like? Like, what's an exit strategy? What does the online world look like that I'm kind of diving into? So it was really cool talking to him, and I wrote down all my takeaways, which will be a separate either podcast or blog post or something like that, but you'll definitely see it. Sit back, enjoy this trip to Scottsdale. It was my first time vlogging, and thank God I have a good editor, Carrick, because I just got random scraps, but I think you're gonna like it. Peace. All right, just landed in Scottsdale, actually landed in Phoenix, going to Scottsdale in a taxi right now, and looks good, man. 107 outside, but flight was chill, and I had a guy farting next to me and some stoners behind me talking about how they're about to just like turf this place up. So one thing I love about flying east from Sacramento is you get to see like Folsom Lake, Lake Tahoe, all these spots I don't really ride. Just like looking down, seeing the fire roads, just like dreaming about these sick rides. So that was kind of rad. I ended up kind of just spacing out, had some good snacks, a little Monster, and it was mellow. So yeah, stoked to be here. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be honest, setting up the camera this way makes me feel real questionable, but just got to Scottsdale, chilling in my hotel room, And I'm stoked, man. With the exception of the $50 car drive over here, which was kind of funny. I was like, is a cab really cheaper than an Uber? I don't know, but it was right there, so I took it. And yeah, dude, it's crazy because I'm gonna go out and just grab a bite to eat by myself, but it's the first night I haven't been with my baby boy Otto. He's about 2 months old now, so it kind of feels weird. But I told my wife right away, I was like, I'm gonna go eat, I'm gonna enjoy the little shopping center that's over here, but I think I'm gonna sleep like 8 to 10 hours tonight. Like, I haven't slept 8 hours. Well before Otto was born, I still hadn't slept an 8-hour night, so it's been at least 3 months, so really looking forward to that. I'm gonna head out right now. I'm kind of debating, should I take the camera or not? I don't know, I think I'm gonna take it, just to commit to this vlog lifestyle. But yeah, I'll take it. We'll do it, let's go. All right, Scottsdale is definitely sick. I'm trying to put my finger on the real vibe. Rich is a vibe. If rich is a vibe, that's part of it. All right, that's officially the vibe. It's people who've grinded. They don't want to be in the craziness of California or the city. They have families now, but they're rich and they have good style and they know how to live. I mean, this place is beautiful, so I don't blame them, man. I'll be back for sure. I don't know what it is about traveling, but I start looking at foods I would never consider eating, and I'm like, I think I want that. Like, I literally just swooped this cookie from the hotel lobby like so quick, and it was delicious and it was warm. But I don't know, like stuff like that never normally gets me. Grabbing like little candy or like looking around, like seeing all this like random like junk food. I like that stuff, but it's not normal for me to want it like all the time. And I feel like as soon as I'm like at an airport or on an airplane or somewhere new, all I am ready to do is just like smash food. For instance, look at this, what I just picked up at Bevmo, or Total Wine, or whatever. Look. All right, man. Let me just say, my dad doesn't drink, but if he did, he would be so disappointed in this grocery run. Because even as metro as I know that I am, this is another level, bro. You ready for this? I have Pina Colada spiked seltzers, light kettle corn, and a chocolate bar. So once you can get past the fact that that's like literally the girliest, whitest girl thing you could ever just like order or get or whatever, I don't know, man. I just like, even before I left, my mom was like giving me all these like chocolates. She's like, and I'm like, no, I'm going on like a fitness trip. And then I get here and I'm like, let's go. Pretty rad. There's a private airport right by the pool, or right by the hotel. Where you at? There you go. Yoo! And I don't know, I've been here for like 20 minutes and I think 10 planes have already gone by, so. Oh yeah, I'm totally that psycho that just stretches in public constantly. And a lot of it's because I've had this like weird muscle. It's like almost like an injury because it makes my knee swell up like crazy. But I got a little coffee, gonna stretch a little bit. I just want to jump in the pool, shake it out. I got in the hot tub for a second. Honestly, just felt good to move. Like, I want to come into this workout later like super prepped and ready. But really, I think I just love to move. I want to get off the flight, and I was walking around a bunch last night, so just to stretch a lot sounds money. And coffee, stretching coffee. All right, just checked out of the hotel, got my bags, and last minute idea was pick up coffees for everybody. I don't know how many people are working out, but I think I'm coming with like 12 cold brews from Starbucks, and should be a nice little welcoming gift. If not,
I'll just try and drink them all. I probably could. Okay, now I have to transport these coffees in this bag. It's gonna be tough.
Jeremy, thanks for the workout, bro. We did 3 different exercises. Ski erg, row machine. I'm sorry, airdyne, row machine, ski erg. 4 minutes, run round through each. 1 minute rest, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. That's it, max calories. I think we're gonna add them up. All right, just finished up what turned into a awesome coaching session with this guy. He smoked me in the workout. The whole vibe was amazing. And then we got to sit down and actually talk a little bit of business. So, dude, really appreciate it right here.
You got it, brother.
Thank you. I'm a huge fan of the content Jeremy puts out, and that's kind of what brought me to this gym. So I'll throw up a couple slides of the podcast and link it out for you on the next story. And that's it, man. Check it out. I'm a big believer in his stuff. And he's convinced me to start a podcast. We'll see if the vlog happens. I think I might try and do both, we'll see. But either way, I'm probably gonna talk about this experience first, so stay tuned for that. Now here is the craziest thing that's come since I went on the trip, met him, all that stuff. Now, I wanted to have like a parting gift. I mean, you know, time is so valuable, especially when you're as busy as he is, and he spent a full hour with me. So I was like, what can I do that's kind of memorable? Now he has a saying, basically just talks about the number 86,400. That's how many seconds you have in a day, and he pushes it super hard because he tries to capitalize on every moment. So I have a client, Kevin, who does metal manufacturing, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna build him like this sick sign and basically just cut out 86,400. So we basically made this sign. It came out so sick, but then it was the reality of, oh wow, this sign's, you know, another $250 and then shipping and like figuring it out. So again, another reason not to do it, but I knew the timing had to line up. So even better, Dave, who originally went to Scottsdale and made the introduction, was going back literally 4 days after this sign was made. So I had him take the sign on the airplane with him. He hand delivered it. And here's where it gets even better. So Jeremy gets the sign, and it kind of, to connect the world, he has a friend trainer, BJ Gador, who is also someone at his level of the industry, super experienced. He's the ex-men's health fitness director, someone I also look up to. They're homies, talk all the time. Well, I left this message for him on his podcast that he replayed, and it must have hit him at the perfect time because, again, it's not because I want anything from these guys. I want to be on their level, and I want to learn from them. And basically I sent BJ a message of encouragement, just saying, hey dude, thank you for doing what you're doing. You know, you've put yourself in a position to really impact a lot of people, yada, yada. And I think it just hit him at the perfect time because he talked about it for like 10, 15 minutes on this podcast. I was on there, he keeps like shouting out to it. So when Dave, my client, shows up with the sign for Jeremy, Jeremy says, hey, did you hear Derek on BJ's podcast? And it was just like this way to connect the worlds where now I know, honestly, if I don't talk to either of these guys for another 6 months, they're probably gonna remember who I am. And again, it's cool because the timing could not have been better, and it was all built out of me pushing it and making moves, because none of that would have happened if I didn't just commit to being like, hey, get your butt there, I'm getting my butt there, I'm gonna talk to this guy, we're talking to that guy, and it's just cool. So I don't know what's gonna come from it long term, but if anything, I feel like I really got a better insight on what those guys are doing, how they are, where they're at, and that's what I hope to apply myself. And it's why, you know, it's 8 p.m. at the end of the day, I got a head cold, and we're finishing up this vlog and just getting it out to you guys, because I want to make sure this business just really thrives, and I love making content. It's like such a almost like douchey thing to say in 2019, I think, but I really enjoy it. I'm making it a priority. Peace. You soccer girl pose. And this is her right there. That's the lady.